Hello and welcome to Show of the Week with Outside Xbox. I'm Andy.
And I'm Jane. And this week I've been enjoying the hot new sport of sports car bowling in Grand Theft Auto Online. And that's in contention for Tokyo 2020.
Meanwhile, I've been preparing for Assassin's Creed 4 by brushing up on my authentic 18th century sea shanties. Do you know there are some teeth in my rum? Oh wait, I've got scurvy.
No.
How about, I've been at sea since February, now that manatee looks good to me.
No. I tell you what, you hum it and I will do something else.
Well, I can understand that some people felt that Assassin's Creed 3 was a little dull. Part of that, of course, was down to it having a 4-hour prologue.
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
Oh man, when do we get to be the guy on the box?
I will not leave, do you hear me? I'm never leaving.
Oh. Can we go back to being Haytham? No? Oh well. Assassin's Creed 4 seems to have taken these criticisms on board because the game is now based around one of the internet's 3 favourite things, pirates.
For a brief, shining moment in history, a select breed truly lived free.
For us, the most exciting parts of Assassin's Creed 3 were the naval combat sections and the peg leg pirate missions. So we're happy that Assassin's Creed 4 has decided to just focus on these things, casting you as new hero Edward Kenway, a swashbuckling pirate who joins the Assassin Order reluctantly.
I obeyed men of privilege and wealth. Now, I bend my knee to no man.
As ever in the Assassin's Creed games, you'll bump into famous historical characters along the way, only now instead of Benjamin Franklin asking you to retrieve some papers that he lost while being a gross old Lothario, you get Blackbeard asking you if you want to go to sea on a rad boat and blow up Spanish frigates.
If a man plays the fool, then it's only fools he'll persuade, but appear to be the devil. And all men will submit.
The modern day stuff has changed too. Seems Ubisoft got fed up with Desmond Miles clogging up the Animus with all his sexy dead ancestors and has decided to let someone else have a go.
Hey, what's the matter you, Altair?
That's racist.
You're racist.
So now the modern day sections of the game take place in Abstergo Entertainment's offices, and you play yourself, in first person, as a new employee of the company, tasked with researching Edward Kenway, so that Abstergo can turn his story into a video game that Ubisoft will then publish. Yeah, I know. Nice office though, check out those beanbags. In many ways, it's a transitional game, moving from the Desmond Miles story arc, which was about,
I would like very much for you to be controlled by a magic space wizard so that you can murder me.
Right, that, and the direction that the series will be heading in next. For all that though, this is at heart an open-world pirate game where you can set off across the ocean in your upgradable ship, looking for treasure, secrets and adventure. And we've pretty much been waiting for a game like that since forever. So, Assassin's Creed 4. Not boring, hopefully.
You know, Jane, Douglas, a lot of the stuff that we associate with pirates isn't actually historically accurate.
Yeah, you said, none of the fun stuff.
Well, Jane, I think you'll find that historical shipping routes and naval commerce in the 18th century is a lot more fun than people think.
Are you going to tell me about
So I'm going to tell you all about them.
Oh, can you tell me when I'm in the kitchen? Because I find it easier to concentrate on the interesting things you're saying from very far away.
Will you be able to hear though? Because it's quite far to
Yeah,
the
I
kitchen.
can hear you fine. Hey, Mike, Andy's talking about history again.
Oh, it's going to be a nightmare when AC4 comes out.
I know, right? And Assassin's Creed is one of the most historically authentic games there is. I mean, relatively speaking. Check out these jokers in the camera.
So yes, Assassin's Creed is usually historically accurate.
What have you done to me?
Usually. But more often than not, video games have a much more casual relationship with historical accuracy. For instance...
Herr Hitler.
Ja, was ist los? Ich habe keine Zeit hier rumzustehen.
Ja.
Hey, do you remember when Albert Einstein invented a time machine and killed Adolf Hitler by... Actually, not sure what he's doing here. Superheating his arm or something. Anyway, Command & Conquer Red Alert remembers it well. Still on the subject of historical scientists, check out Nikola Tesla in Dark Void. See if you can spot the point in this Dark Void dev diary where historical accuracy goes out the window.
Historically, Tesla is a scientist and an inventor. He arguably created the radio. There's all kinds of these weird different things that are associated with Tesla. There was ideas from Tesla about teleportation. He created this death ray. He might have had contact with aliens.
Yeah. Still, he did invent that awesome jetpack.
Let me tell you something, Fritz. My buddies and I aren't gonna sit on our hands and let you make freedom extinct.
World War II is one of the most intensively studied periods of modern history, with countless essays, books and documentaries produced on it every year. So if Hitler's forces had used dinosaurs in combat, we would probably know about it, is all I'm saying. Dino D-Day's historical thesis is that the Axis powers resurrected and weaponised dinosaurs, which is ludicrous because dinosaurs hate fascism, they'd never go for that. Leave Triceratops alone, Hitler.
Dante, your fate is decided. Everlasting damnation for your sin.
Dante Alighieri was a 13th century Italian poet who wrote the Divine Comedy. If the game Dante's Inferno is to be believed, he also killed Death, then went to hell and killed everyone there with Death's scythe, so he could rescue his girlfriend Beatrice and imprison Lucifer in an ice cage. I am surprised he found the time, to be honest.
Whoa, you're like George Washington. Very much like him, according to my wife, Mrs. Washington.
There's a dubious anecdote about George Washington chopping down his dad's favourite cherry tree, much disputed by historians. But did you know that not only is the story true, but that Washington did it because a time-travelling heavy metal roadie repainted a kumquat tree and talked him into it? It's amazing the stuff you can learn from video games.
Now it's time for a special Assassin's Creed edition of the comment section in which we see what you've been saying on our Assassin's Creed videos.
First up, speculation as to where the series can go next, sparked by our conversation with Assassin's Creed 4 lead writer Darby McDevitt.
So at the end of AC3, when you finished the game and the credits roll, there's a couple of voices you heard, and they would talk about setting these pivots.
PBarry515 wants to go to feudal Japan. They say feudal Japanese architecture is almost perfect for assassins, and the weapons of feudal Japanese warriors would be awesome for assassins.
While Mudcrunky fancies India, saying, at the Comic-Con panel this year, Darby hinted that there's a possibility that the Brahman comic might have something to do with the next game, so it might be interesting to see an Assassin's Creed set in India. I'd certainly have no problems with it. Mudcrunky is referring to the upcoming Assassin's Creed Brahman comic, which features a programmer and an assassin in India.
Alinmus100 reckons Napoleonic Wars for AC5 or a later AC. King Warrior says Ancient Egypt themed Creed would be amazing, and Skies Lover 13 thinks that Aztec would be kick-ass.
What about Wakefield in the 1980s?
Mike, you're not an assassin.
I could be an assassin.
No. Edward Kenway, however, is an assassin, and he's been dividing opinions. Kacharadon says, is that a beard I spy? Finally, no more Pretty Boy McCleanface.
The original name for Desmond there. The Apache 287 isn't a fan of Edward's look, however, saying, is it just me, or does Kenway have way too much eyeliner?
It's you. Come on, we've all seen the guy line on Jack Sparrow, who is also very historically accurate.
Jake Harrington has the final word, saying, Edward Kenway just makes me think of Jaime Lannister, his look and the way he speaks.
I'd rather not say.
And I'd rather not cut your lips off and feed him to you.
Finally, some general thoughts on the game. Corbin Joseph is a hard man to please. He says that water is actually a little too blue.
We will have to check the historical accuracy of that colour with Andy. Defender Stratal is more concerned with sharks, however, saying, wow, who would have known that hiding in weeds underwater prevents a f***ing shark's super sensitive nerves from detecting everything within 4 kilometres? That was a very stupid decision.
Tyrese Williams doesn't care. They say, I hope you can do counter-attacks on the shark.
How would that work?
I don't know. I think Andy's finished talking history though, so I'm going to go back.
Okay, catch you later. Maybe like a finger up the blowhole? Do they have one of those?
So that's it for another week, but thanks for joining us, and don't forget to tweet or Facebook us to tell us what you think.
And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for loads more Xbox 360 and Xbox One videos. See you next time.
You know, I quite feel like a smoothie. You want one?
Well, if we're being historically accurate, I probably shouldn't, because smoothies wouldn't have been around in the 18th century. They're really more of a modern... That's a 20th century hand gesture. It's not accurate.